Keep listening to English every single day helps improve your understanding and speaking naturally. It trains your ears to recognize words, sounds, and phrases. Daily practice builds confidence, vocabulary, and fluency. Stay patient and consistent. The more you listen, the more confident you'll become in speaking and understanding English fluently. I have the chance to live out my dream. There are moments in life when everything feels just right. Like the universe has paused for a brief second to whisper, "This is what you were meant to do." For me, that moment came when I realized I had the chance to live out my dream. It didn't happen overnight. It came after many years of quiet wishing, silent struggles, uncertain steps, and persistent hope. But here I am, living the very dream that once felt so distant, so impossible, and I am grateful beyond words. Ever since I was a child, I've carried a dream inside me. It was a soft, glowing light, sometimes dim and flickering, other times burning brightly with passion and determination. I dreamed of creating something meaningful, something that would touch people's hearts, that would let me express who I truly am, and that would give me purpose. For some, a dream is to be a doctor, a pilot, a teacher, or an athlete. My dream was to be someone who uses creativity to inspire, to write, to share stories, to connect with others through words and imagination. In a world that often encourages safety and predictability, dreaming can feel like a risk. I was told to be practical, to choose a secure path, to not get lost in my fantasies. But something inside me refused to give up. Even when I had to take jobs that weren't aligned with my dream, even when life pulled me in other directions, I still kept that dream alive. I would write in the early mornings before work. I would imagine scenes and characters during long commutes. I would read books and learn from others who had dared to follow their own path. That's how I kept my dream breathing. The truth is, living out a dream doesn't begin the moment success comes. It begins the moment we say yes to ourselves. It begins when we take the first small step, even if no one else notices. It begins when we trust that the things that set our hearts on fire are worth pursuing, even if they don't make sense to others. Now, I wake up each day knowing that I am building a life aligned with my deepest desires. I am doing the work that brings me joy, work that doesn't just pay the bills but fills me with energy and meaning. I get to write, to share, to speak from the heart. I get to connect with people who value the same things I do. I get to use my creativity, my imagination, my voice, and that is the most empowering feeling in the world. Living out my dream doesn't mean every day is perfect. There are still challenges, fears, and moments of doubt. But the difference is, I now face those challenges with a sense of purpose. I am no longer lost or waiting for someday. I am in it, fully, passionately, and with both feet on the ground. Every struggle feels worth it because I know what I'm working toward. Every late night or early morning feels meaningful because I'm building something I believe in. One of the most beautiful parts of living out my dream is discovering that it's not just about me. When we live out our dreams, we inspire others to do the same. I've had friends, family members, and even strangers tell me that my journey has given them hope, that seeing someone pursue their passion gives them the courage to explore their own. That in itself is a dream come true. Because what's better than living your dream? Helping others believe that they can live theirs too. I often think about the version of myself from years ago, the one who was scared, unsure, quietly hoping for more. I want to hug that version and say, "You did it. You kept going. You believed just enough to get here." And to anyone reading this who has a dream of their own, I want to say, don't give up. It might take time. It might take detours and failures and uncertainty. But if the dream lives inside you, it's there for a reason. Having the chance to live out my dream has changed me in the most profound ways. I am more confident, more open, more alive. I see beauty in the small things because I know what it took to get here. I value each opportunity, each connection, each lesson. I no longer feel like I'm pretending to be someone I'm not. I no longer feel like life is passing me by. I am awake, present, and deeply thankful. My journey isn't over, in fact, it's only just beginning. There are still more dreams ahead, more growth to come, more stories to tell. But what matters most is that I'm no longer waiting. I'm no longer wishing from a distance. I am living the dream, one day, one step, one word at a time. So here's what I've learned. Dreams don't come true by accident. They come true when we believe in them, work for them, protect them, and make room for them in our lives. They come true when we dare to take that first step, even if the path ahead is unclear. And when they finally begin to unfold in front of us, it's like stepping into the light after years in the dark. Everything feels warmer, more vivid, more real. I am humbled by the chance I've been given. I don't take it for granted. I carry this dream like a treasure, and I try every day to honor it with action, with love, with gratitude. Because living out your dream is not just a goal. It's a way of life. It's a choice to live with intention, with authenticity, and with heart. And so I continue, not chasing, but living. Not dreaming from afar, but walking in the dream. And I know now, with every fiber of my being, that when we give ourselves permission to live out our dream, life gives us back something even greater. The chance to truly be ourselves. And that is the greatest dream of all. Living out my dream has given me something far greater than I ever imagined. Not just the external rewards, but the inner transformation. As I continue on this path, I'm learning more each day about what it truly means to live with purpose, to choose authenticity over fear, and to remain grounded even when life gets unpredictable. This journey has shaped me into someone more resilient, more compassionate, and more in tune with life's quiet miracles. One of the most surprising lessons I've learned is that dreams evolve. The dream I once had, while still present, has grown and shifted with time. In the beginning, I thought success meant achieving something specific, maybe a title, a recognition, or reaching a particular milestone. But as I live it out, I've come to understand that true success lies in the process, not the outcome. It's not just about arriving at a destination. It's about showing up every day with intention, creativity, and heart. There are mornings when I still wake up unsure of what the day will bring, unsure of how I'll handle challenges, unsure of whether I'm doing enough. But then I remind myself, the fact that I am living this life, the one I used to dream of, is a success in itself. I don't need everything to be perfect. I just need to keep going, keep creating, and keep choosing what matters most to me. The beauty of living out a dream is that it keeps calling you higher. It doesn't allow you to settle. It nudges you to keep learning, growing, and refining your vision. I've discovered new passions, skills, and interests that I never would have known if I hadn't taken that first step. I've also made peace with the fact that not everyone will understand this path. Some people might question your choices. Some might doubt you. But that's okay, because you are the one living your life. You are the one who has to wake up each day and look in the mirror. And when you know you're living with honesty and love, that reflection is a beautiful one. There is also something deeply humbling about seeing your dream touch other people. I've received messages from people I've never met telling me how something I said or created helped them feel less alone. That kind of connection is priceless. It reminds me that our dreams are never just about us. They ripple out, quietly and powerfully, in ways we may never fully see. And it's not always easy. Sometimes living your dream feels heavy, especially when the pressure mounts, or when the excitement fades, or when reality doesn't quite match the fantasy. But even in those hard moments, I've learned to pause, breathe, and return to my why. Why did I begin? Why did this matter to me in the first place? The answer always brings me back to center. My dream was never about fame or praise. It was about feeling alive. It was about creating meaning. It was about bringing light into the world in my own unique way. To anyone who feels like their dream is too far away or too difficult to reach, I want to say this: start anyway. You don't have to know everything right now. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. Even the smallest steps count. Even the quietest efforts matter. Don't wait until you feel ready, because readiness often comes after action, not before. One thing that helped me live out my dream was surrounding myself with the right people, those who believe in me, even when I doubt myself. People who don't just cheer me on during the victories, but who also hold my hand through the rough patches. No dream is meant to be pursued alone. Community, support, and shared wisdom make the journey richer and more meaningful. There's also value in failure. Yes, I've failed many times. I've made mistakes. I've experienced rejection. I've doubted myself. But every failure taught me something vital. It sharpened my focus. It humbled me. It reminded me that I am still learning. And perhaps most importantly, it reminded me that failing is not the opposite of success. It's part of the path to it. Living out a dream doesn't always mean quitting your job, traveling the world, or becoming famous. Sometimes it means making time every day for what you love. Sometimes it means saying no to things that drain you, and yes to things that make you feel whole. Sometimes it means protecting your joy, even when the world feels loud and chaotic. Each person's dream looks different, and that's the beauty of it. Your dream is yours, shaped by your heart, your history, and your hopes. For me, this dream has made life more vibrant. Colors feel brighter. Conversations feel deeper. Time feels more precious. I don't take my days for granted the way I once did. I don't rush through life the way I used to. I pause more. I listen more. I appreciate more. Because I know how far I've come to be here and how fragile yet powerful each moment is. And perhaps the most beautiful realization of all is this: I'm not done dreaming. Just because I'm living one dream doesn't mean I stop imagining new ones. In fact, this dream has given me the courage to dream even bigger. I've tasted what it feels like to live authentically, and now I want to keep expanding that. I want to continue creating, exploring, and discovering who I'm becoming. My dream has also taught me to celebrate the journey, not just the big wins, but the little moments too. The quiet joy of a finished project, the deep breath after a hard decision, the peaceful silence after a day of meaningful work. These moments might seem small, but they are sacred. They remind me that I am alive, that I am in alignment with what matters, and that I am doing something that truly feeds my soul. I am so grateful for this chance. Not everyone gets it, and I don't take it lightly. I will keep showing up. I will keep creating. I will keep honoring the dream, not just for me, but for all those who are still finding the courage to begin. And I hope my journey serves as a quiet reminder that it is possible. That with hope, heart, and hard work, you can wake up one day and say, I'm living it. I'm really living it. So here's to all the dreamers, the ones who are just starting, the ones who are in the middle, and the ones who are finally living it out. Keep going. Keep trusting. Keep dreaming. Because the life you want, the life that reflects your truest self, is worth every single step. And as for me, I'll keep walking this path with gratitude in my chest, joy in my steps, and fire in my heart. Because I have the chance to live out my dream, and that, to me, is the greatest gift of all. When I say I have the chance to live out my dream, I don't just mean that I'm doing the thing I always wanted to do. I mean, I'm finally living a life that feels like mine. For so long, I lived in a way that pleased others. I made decisions based on what was expected of me, what seemed safe, or what would make people proud. But deep inside, I was yearning for something else, something more aligned with who I truly was. Now, every day I wake up, I feel more connected to myself, more honest in my actions, and more fulfilled in my purpose. Living out a dream is often romanticized, as if it's all sunshine and success. The truth is, it's not a straight road. It's full of curves, bumps, and unexpected turns. But even with all the twists, it's still worth it. Because when you're living your dream, even the hard days feel meaningful. Even the struggles feel like part of a bigger picture. You're not just surviving, you're building something with your heart, your soul, your own two hands. I remember the exact moment I decided to take the dream seriously. It was a quiet evening, and I was sitting alone, feeling tired of pretending I didn't care. I had been brushing it off for years, calling it just a hobby or saying maybe one day. But that night, something shifted. I told myself, why not now? Why not give it a real chance? And that small decision changed everything. I started taking little steps. I committed to the process, no matter how slow or uncertain it was. In the beginning, the path felt overwhelming. I didn't have all the tools. I didn't know what would work or what would fail. But I kept going. I read, practiced, asked for help, and gave myself permission to be a beginner. That's something we forget, that it's okay to start small. It's okay to not know everything. What matters most is showing up with a willing heart and an open mind. One of the most important parts of living out my dream has been learning to trust myself. For years, I doubted my instincts. I questioned every decision, worried about making mistakes or being judged. But the more I followed my dream, the more I discovered my inner strength. I learned to listen to that quiet voice inside me, the one that whispers truth when the world is loud. That voice is never wrong. It always knows what's right for me, even when the path isn't clear. Another unexpected gift of this journey has been learning how to embrace imperfection. Before, I thought everything had to be polished and perfect before I could share it with the world. But I've realized that real connection comes from honesty, not perfection. People relate to what's real, the messy, the honest, the flawed. When I started showing up as I truly am, with all my doubts and dreams, I found deeper connections than I ever had before. Living out your dream also means learning to say no. Not out of rudeness, but out of love for yourself and your time. I've learned that not every opportunity aligns with my dream. Not every path is mine to walk. When you know what you're called to do, you begin to protect your energy. You begin to focus. You begin to choose with clarity and intention. That's part of the freedom that comes with living your dream. The freedom to choose what feeds your spirit. One of the greatest joys in this journey has been meeting others who are also living out their dreams. There's something magnetic about people who are doing what they love. Their energy is different. They radiate purpose and authenticity. These people have become my friends, my mentors, my inspiration. Being part of a community of dreamers has reminded me that we're all in this together. We're all trying, learning, failing, and rising again, and we don't have to do it alone. I've also had to face fear again and again. Fear of failing. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of not being good enough. But the truth is, fear is part of the process. It's not something to get rid of. It's something to move with. I've learned to do things scared. I've learned that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. And every time I've done something that scared me, I've grown stronger, bolder, freer. Living your dream also means staying patient. It's easy to want instant results, to expect everything to fall into place right away. But dreams take time. They need space to grow. They require nurturing. I've had to learn to trust the timing, even when I didn't understand it. I've had to believe that every step, no matter how small, is leading somewhere meaningful. I've also had to face fear again and again. Fear of failing. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of not being good enough. But the truth is, fear is part of the process. It's not something to get rid of. It's something to move with. I've learned to do things scared. I've learned that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. And every time I've done something that scared me, I've grown stronger, bolder, freer. Living your dream also means staying patient. It's easy to want instant results, to expect everything to fall into place right away. But dreams take time. They need space to grow. They require nurturing. I've had to learn to trust the timing, even when I didn't understand it. I've had to believe that every step, no matter how small, is leading somewhere meaningful. To those still holding on to a dream, I see you. I know how hard it can be to believe in something the world doesn't always understand. But please don't give up. Keep listening to that inner voice. Keep taking small steps. Keep trusting that your dream is worthy, because it is. You are. And to myself, I say, thank you for being brave. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for choosing truth over fear, passion over comfort, and purpose over pressure. You've come a long way, and the best is still to come. Because once you know what it feels like to live your dream, you'll never settle for anything less than a life that lights you up from the inside. And that is the real dream, to live a life that is fully, deeply, honestly yours.